sun goes down, the real conversations begin. Tonight with Somi, only on your number one talk station, 95.1 Nigeria Info. Okay, it is 10:14 p.m. I have to apologize there. I was just trying to make sure that my guests were online and ready to go. And sometimes with these things, we have a glitch here or there. But I'm excited to say that it's all been sorted out and the conversation can kick off in earnest. Again, it is Body and Soul, which is our segment on all things health and lifestyle here on Tonight with Somi. Happens Thursdays, 10 p.m. And we are starting the series on reproductive health today. I'm excited to get into this. Reproductive health is very broad. It encompasses a broad range of issues. Fertility is one of them. You also have preconception care, family planning, pregnancy, everything from childbirth, and then there are reproductive issues and some of the challenges that come with it, diseases that come with it, all of which can significantly impact an individual's physical and mental state, and in some cases their social and economic well-being. And so I'm excited to introduce my guests who are joining me today. I have with me here virtually Miss Adeola Olunloyo, seasoned communication professional and fertility educator. She's worked with the UN and international organizations on sexual and reproductive health and rights. And fertility education became her mission after undergoing 3 unsuccessful IVF treatments in her 40s and wishing she was proactive to preserve her fertility. I promise you, she has quite the story to tell. And I'd like that we listen to her and learn. And of course, opportunities will be there for us to ask questions as well. Special welcome to you, Mrs. Olunloyo, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much, Somi, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. Okay. I also have with me here Dr. Babatunde Ogunkile, a consultant gynaecologist and medical director at Origin Fertility, which is a clinic that offers assisted reproductive technology. He has over 15 years experience in this field, and I know that he will be bringing from his wealth of experience to share with us, and I'm excited about having those conversations with him. Once again, good evening, Dr. Babatunde Ogunkile.
Good evening, Somi. Good evening, listener. It's my pleasure to be here with you this evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, we're streaming live. You want to go and follow the conversation and engage with us on Facebook and YouTube. Go to Nigeria Info Abuja on Facebook. On YouTube, we're at Nigeria Info Abuja as well. You can add 95.1 so that it brings you straight to the Abuja station. And lots of questions I'm sure some of you would have. You can ask them there as well and we'll engage. But let's start the conversation today by hearing from Miss Adeola Olunloyo. She's an author as well. This matter is of such importance to her that she has written books about it, not 1, 2 books about it on fertility, chronicling her journey and also taking time to educate people and also give them hope around issues of fertility. Like I said, this is one of the aspects of reproductive health, but even fertility in itself and the discussions around it are very broad. But let's hear from her story, and then we'll see what we can glean from there and then take the conversation from there on out. Once again, ma'am, good evening and welcome. You have the floor.
Okay, Somi, thank you so much again for casting your spotlight on this very, very important topic that is crucial for many women and men to get a grasp of. So my fertility journey began in 2022. I would say I've been working for years in the area of sexual and reproductive health. So I was sort of conversant with what reproductive health is about. My job entailed building capacities, of health promoters to empower people to make informed choices about their, sexual and reproductive health. And then lo and behold, personally for me, my own journey began in 2022 when I was faced with the situation where I was considering getting a hysterectomy. So the backstory was that I'd been dealing with fibroids for some years, and my fibroids was giving me hell. Having my monthly period was very, very disturbing and distressing. It was affecting my quality of life because it got to a point where sometimes I was bleeding 12 days. For 12 days, every time I'm on my period, very heavy, very distressing. It affects my work.
Hello? Oh dear. Okay. We have a bit of a network issue. We'll just give it a few seconds to right itself.
Known as
okay, it's back.
As well.
Okay, we don't seem to be getting you clearly.
Can you still hear me?
No, it's what's the word? It's ceasing, if that's the right word. Could you just take it from the last sentence?
Can you hear me now?
It's clear now, yes. It's clear now.
Okay, what was the last thing you heard?
You were talking about the...
What was the last thing you heard?
You were talking about the irregular bleeding you were having.
Yes, so I was dealing with a lot of pain, long bleeding, and all of that. And to make matters worse, I got an additional diagnosis of adenomyosis, right? And I just got to the point where I was like, I want to put an end to this, which was what led me to begin to consider having a child. So I said to myself, if the permanent solution to end fibroids and adenomyosis is getting a hysterectomy, how about let me try get a baby first before I take out my womb, right? And that was how my own journey started. And it began to open my eyes to learn a lot about what fertility is all about. Because what I initially wanted to do was to freeze my eggs. But by the time I spoke to my doctor said, because at that time I was 42, my doctor said, at 42, you shouldn't be talking about freezing your eggs because your eggs may not be viable. At your age, getting eggs, good eggs to freeze is almost impossible or very low, like 5%. And I'm like, how?
Okay. All right. Now is not the time for the network to be doing this because this is such a story, and would like to make sure that we hear every bit of it. So we lost you there.
You hear me?
We lost you there for a little bit, but you're back now. You were talking about your reaction to the doctor saying, "Why should you be freezing your eggs now?"
Yes, so I was shocked. I was shocked that the doctor told me that at 42, it was almost impossible to get good eggs. My chances were quite low, and that was shocking to me because I walked there very confidently. I always say to people that I take care of myself, I exercise, I eat well, I don't look my age. So I was very shocked, what do you mean? You can't get good eggs. So I started to learn, even scientifically, that, about a woman's fertility plateau. Like the window period when you're most fertile, the age when your fertility starts to dip, and all of that. So anyways, I went ahead to try to have 3 cycles of IVF over the course of 2 years. And unfortunately, it didn't work out because my eggs were not viable.
Wow.
So what that told me essentially was that this is something that is preventable. I waited too long, right? If I had been told, or I had somebody who was nudging me, who gave me adequate information, about my fertility, I probably would have frozen